Afternoon. Our topic today is, to what extent did the parents, society, community, and church contribute towards the making or the breeding of the AMA 2000 or AMA 2K? That's our topic today. First of all, I'll be using this book, Education by Ellen G. White. I want to read a quotation from Education, page 58. It says, "The greatest want of the world is the want of men. Men who will not be bought nor sold. Men who in their inmost souls are true and honest. Men who do not fear to call sin by its right name. Men whose conscience is as true to the duty as the needle to the poor. Men who stand for the right, though the heavens fall." Listen here. But such a character is not the result of accident. It is not due to special favors or enjoyments of providence. Let me repeat. But such a character is not the result of accident. It is not due to special favors or enjoyments of providence. A noble character is the result of self-discipline, of the subjection of the lower to the higher nature, the surrender of self for the service of love to God and men. But such a character is not the result of accident. It is not due to special favors or enjoyment of providence. A noble character is the result of self-discipline, of the subjection of the lower to the higher nature, the surrender of self for the service of love to God and men. The youth need to be impressed with the truth that their enjoyments are not their own. Strength, time, intellect are but learned treasures. They belong to God, and it should be the resolve of every youth to put them to the highest use. He is a branch from which God expects fruit, a steward whose capital must yield increase, a light to illuminate the world's darkness. Every youth, every child, has a work to do for the honor of God and the uplifting of humanity. So, being given this statement, I would like to ask you, what can you expect from a child being raised by a single mom? A mother who gives a child her iPhone, stands in front of a mirror and starts doing sexual postures while the child is being asked to take pictures. A mother who do profane stanzas, doing profane images, doing profane stuff for her child to take pictures and for her to post online, for her to post to your man. What do you expect from such a child when she grows up? What do you expect from a child who sees her mother naked around, walks with a bum short, walks with a bra sometimes in the house, or even going to the shops? What do you expect from such a child? What do you expect from a child who hears his father and his mother daily flirting with each other, talking jokes to each other, doing different stuff during supper? What do you expect from such a child? What do you expect from such a child who comes from a family which never prays to God in the morning, a family which never prays to God after the day, during the night? What do you expect from such a child? What do you expect from a child who is never accustomed to useful labor? A child who have never touched a hoe. A child who doesn't know how to use a rake. A child who doesn't know the pain of patience, always waiting for the crops to yield. A child who have never digged in a garden. A child who have never been stricken with a heartfelt sorrow when his or her crops fail to yield. What do you expect from such a child? What do you expect from a child who grows watching TikTok, watching fun videos, and never have time to pray? What do you expect from a child who goes to schools with forced education, schools which only give mental education? What is true education? Our ideas of education, I'm reading from Education. Our ideas of education take too narrow and too low a range. There's a need of a broader scope, a higher aim. True education means more than the pursuit of a certain course of study. It means more than a preparation for the life that now is. It has to do with the whole being and with the whole period of existence possible to men. It is the harmonious development. It is the harmonious development of the physical, the mental, and the spiritual powers. It prepares the student for the joy of service in this world and for the higher of the wider service in the world to come. The source of such an education is brought to view in these words of Holy Writ, pointing to the infinite one. Colossians chapter 2 verse 3. In him are hid all the treasures of wisdom. Job chapter 12 verse 13. He had counsel and understanding. So what do you expect from a child who grew up in the family which only goes to church on the Sabbath or on Sunday or on Friday? What do you expect? What do you expect from a child who is only pampered with gifts, only pampered with presents, but never pampered with the blossom of the Father's love in presence? What do you expect from such a child? What do you expect from a child who cannot even run 10 kilometers? Such a weak generation. We should embrace the life of the Stone Age man. We should embrace the life of the Iron Age man. Yes, we are living in a modern country, in a more diversified economy. But we can also learn good lessons from the Stone Age, from the Iron Age. So, parents, society, community, and church are unlike or are likewise destroying this generation. Ama2K is never and will never be a better generation. That is false. That will never happen. If by God's providence or by God's, let's say, compassion, if He allows the Ama2K generation to produce another generation, that generation, it will be going to be a generation of murderers. Murderers without conscience. Educated fools. Graduation crown, but without a graduated mind. It will be sad generation. Generation with smiling faces, but with broken hearts, with broken minds, with broken conscience. May God help us. The only remedy for the Ama2K is for us to go back and learn from the feet of Christ. Yes, we might have men like Shaddai, men like Enrotad, who are trying to restore masculinity in men. But that is just but a step from a chain of 1,000,000 steps. The change must start within. And if the change starts within, the change will be seen from without. It has always been the problem of humanity to start with the change from outside, but it always and it will never go up. What do you expect from children who grow up listening to their fathers cursing politicians who are even older than them? So we are learning such mentality that I can even curse a grown person. I can even curse an elderly person. Just like that. What do you expect? What do you expect when a family can see profane videos, can see profane movies with the whole family around? The mother, the father, the grandmother, the grandfather, and the children and the grandchildren watching a movie full of profane language, profane things, and all be laughing their tongues out, eating popcorns and drinking. How can you rebuke your children in future? How can you rebuke your children when you are doing bad things with them? How can you rebuke your children when you are doing jokes with your children on TikTok? How can you? It is not love. That is not love. For a father to trifle with his children, that is not love. That is infatuation. Blind love. Education, page 16. The Holy Scriptures are the perfect standard of truth, and as such should be given the highest place in education. To obtain an education worthy of the name, we must receive the knowledge of God, the Creator, and of Christ, the Redeemer, as they are revealed in the sacred word. Every human being, created in the image of God, is endued with a power akin to that of the Creator, individuality, power to think and to do. It is the work of true education to develop this power, to train the youth to be thinkers, and not mere reflectors of other men's thought. I'll repeat this one. It is the work of true education to develop this power, to train the youth to be thinkers, and not mere reflectors of other men's thought. Instead of confining their study to that which men have said or written, let students be directed to the sources of truth, to the vast fields opened for research, nature, and revelation. Let them contemplate on the great facts of duty and destiny, and the mind will expand and strengthen. Instead of educated weaklings, institutions of learning may send forth men, strong to think and to act, men who are masters and not slaves of circumstances. Men who are masters and not slaves of circumstances. Men who possess breadth of mind, clearness of thought, and the courage of convictions. Such an education provides more than mental discipline. It provides more than physical training. It strengthens the character so that truth and uprightness are not sacrificed to selfish desire or worldly ambition. It fortifies the mind against evil. So, what or where have we gone wrong as the society? We have gone wrong as the society. You have gone wrong as parents. We have gone wrong as the church. We have gone wrong as the community by removing God on his place and placing human thinking on the place of God. So by doing so, that's why we are having problems in society. That's why we are having problematic Amatuke. Children who can reply back to their parents. Children who can curse their parents. Children who can watch profane things even with their parents' presence around. That is the problem. So how can we fix that? It is possible. We can only fix that by putting God back on his position. How can we do that? With this ideology by the so-called human rights activists who are saying men and women are equal in society. That is impossible. That cannot do. Because of sin, man was put on a higher position, and he was put on a position to be in the place of his woman. So men and women cannot be on the same position. If men and women are on the same position, then send women to Afghanistan, send women to Iran. Even in the military, in the special forces, they don't take women. For those who are taking women, they are taking it trying to embrace the so-called human rights activists' ideology. A woman is a weaker power and a man is a higher power. I'm talking on the aspect of humanity, because for sure we know that the higher power is God. And a man is the priest of the house. The house is led and must be led by a man, not by a woman. Whenever we start contradicting nature laws, whenever we start contradicting God's laws, the result will always remain the same. And it always leads down to perdition. The father must rule the house. The father must lead the family. The father must provide for the family. The father must be the brain mind in the family. And the father must work in unison with the mother. The father's saying must be the final say. And women must submit themselves to their women must submit themselves to their husbands. There's this law whereby it is said, murume akati murume ndine musoro wemba, murume anoti mukadzi anoti ndini huro, ndinoda kutengesa kwandinoda kana ndini parade. As funny and as stupid as it sounds, those sentiments, those statements, those ideologies are one of the most ideologies in the history of human beings. The father must be put back to his position, and the mother to her position, the children on their position. By doing so, you create a happy family. Education, page 33. It reads, it's chapter 5 of the book Education by Ellen G. White. The topic is the education of Israel. In his dealings with the wanderers in the desert, in all their marchings to and fro, in their exposure to hunger, thirst, and weariness, in their peril from the heathen foes, and in their manifestation of his providence for their relief, God was seeking to strengthen their faith by revealing to them the power that was continually working for their good. And having told them to trust in his love and power, it was his purpose to set before them, in the presence of his law, the standard of character to which through his grace he desired them to attain. Precious were the lessons taught to Israel during their sojourn in Israel. There was a period of special training for the inheritance of Canaan. So, number 2, the family should be taught, and the family should start to embrace and to live in line with the thus said the Lord. The father should live by example. How can the father live by example? He should start obeying God's principles. God's Decalogue, the 10 Commandments, which is the transcript of God's character. By beholding we become changed. So the things we are beholding daily are the things we are being changed into. If you behold TikTok every day, you will be changed into TikTok. If you behold foolish YouTube, I'm not saying TikTok is bad. I'm not saying YouTube is bad. I'm saying some of the stuff, if you fail to discern between evil and good on those websites, you are going to be changed into those things. So what should we do? Number 1, If you read from Desire of Ages, page 608, if not mistaken, it says, not 608. It is the early chapters of the book Desire of Ages. It reads, "It would be well of us to spend a thoughtful hour each day in contemplation on the life of Christ, taking it point by point, and letting the imagination grasp its sense, especially the closing scenes. As we dwell upon his great sacrifice, our love for him will be greatly imbued." So what should we do? We should learn from the footsteps of Christ. We are going to read from the scriptures. It reads, we want to start from Proverbs chapter 29, verse 15. Verse 29, verse 15. I'm reading from the King James Version. Proverbs 29, verse 15. "The rod and reproof give wisdom, but a child left to himself brings his mother to shame." The rod and reproof give wisdom. So what are the things which were supposed to be given to our generation, but they were not given? It is the rod and reproof. Because the Bible, the Holy Scriptures are saying the rod and reproof give wisdom. So when we see that at this house there's no wisdom, it means that the rod and reproof are lacking. Let us read on. Okay. So right thing. "But a child left to himself brings his mother to shame." So if children are left to themselves, the mother is in South Africa, the father is in UK, the child is is not living with anyone who is mutual, who has care for him, he will go astray. "When the wicked are multiplied, transgression increase, but the righteous shall see their fall. Correct thy son, and he shall give thee rest. Yea, you shall delight unto thy soul. Where there is no vision, the people perish, but he that keepeth the law, happy is he." So why is it our society is not happy? Why is it our parents are not happy? Because we have denied the law of God. The parents have denied the law of God. The children have followed the parents' footsteps. Then, only but a sad situation. So, reproof and the rod are the perfect things to bring up a child. And here we have the human rights activists, children rights activists. When a parent disciplines his or her child, they go crazy. What are you doing? You're abusing your child. What are you doing? The child must report. The child must report to the police station. It is not right for a parent to whip his or her child. That is abuse. That is torture. No. You are the greatest evil in society. When you support that the parent must not give his or her child some beating when the child goes astray. I heard Potras some other time in Masungo saying it is a criminal case for a husband to check his wife's phone. Okay, that's a criminal case. But at marriage, you are forgetting that the husband and the wife are now one thing. So why is it a criminal case for a husband to check his wife's phone? Why is it a criminal case for a wife to check her husband's phone when they are one? So we have selected what we want from God's word, and we have denied what we don't want from God's word. In other words, we've become selective sinners. And here we sing that we are waiting for the grace. Wait. Other mistakes, when we are having the wrong period of amatuke, we have a good father marrying a wrong mother, or a wrong mother being married to a wrong father. Bad and evil can mix together. If you pour hot water into cold water, the water will suddenly turn cold. If you pour cold water into hot water, the hot water will turn cold. Why is it so? Let us read from Proverbs chapter 31. The words of King Lemuel, the prophet that his mother taught him. What, my son, and what the son of my womb, and what the son of my foes. Verse 3. Give not thy strength unto women, nor thy ways to that which destroyeth kings. In other words, usapa simba rako kuvakazi nokuti vanopedza simba reumambo. So why is it we are having weaker men? Men who can rebuke their family, men who can be priests of their houses. It is because as men, we have devoted almost all of our lives to women. And by doing so, we lose power. When the woman realizes that his husband cheats, that her husband cheats, whenever the husband tries to rebuke his wife, whenever the husband tries to rebuke his children, the wife will just bring the reminiscence of the father. That remember you cheated me. As for me here, I'm just staying here for my children. If you don't want anything to do with me, I'll just go away with my children. And the family becomes a corrupt family. It is not for kings or lama. It is not for kings to drink wine, nor for princes strong drink. It is not a good thing for a husband to drink alcohol, for a husband to take fermented stuff, for because it disturbs his reasoning capacity, it disturbs his mental capacity. He can no longer make good decisions. How can you be respected by children when you come home drunk? When you come home singing foolish songs? When you come home with a bottle of beer in one hand and with a live chicken in another hand, singing, how can you be respected by children? How can you be respected by children when you come home drunk at 10 p.m. and you wait in bed and your children see you washing the blankets because the mother will never wash those blankets? If a man loses his masculinity, a woman cannot respect that husband. How can you? How will the children respect you when your wife slaps you in front of the whole household? How can you? It is not for kings or lamo. It is not for kings to drink wine, nor for the strong, nor for princesses strong drink. Lest they drink and forget the law, and pervert the judgment of any of the afflicted. Give strong drink unto him that is ready to perish. So the reason why our generation of Amatuke is perishing, it is because we are taking strong drinks. We are ready to perish on this earth and from the judgment to come. Verse 10. Who can find a vicious woman? For her price is far above rubies. The heart of her husband doth safely trust in her, so that he shall have no need of spoil. So the reason why your husband doesn't trust you, he knows where he founded you. He knows your associations. He knows you are not a vicious woman. Henceforth, the heart of the husband doesn't dwell safely and the husband doesn't trust in you. Verse 12. She will do him good, and not evil all the days of her life. She seeketh wool and flax, and worked willingly with her hands. So here we are finding some of the stuff which are good for us to know. Because of our time, I'm not going to read all the verses for you, but I'm going to recommend some of the verses for you to read. Psalms 127 verse 3, which says, children are an heritage of the Lord. Exodus 2 verse 9, Proverbs 29 verse 17. Also read Proverbs 10 verse 1. If you have the spirit of prophecy, read Testimonies volume 7 page 186. Read also Proverbs 29 verse 15, Proverbs 22 verse 15, 1 Samuel chapter 3 verse 11 to 14, Proverbs chapter 31 verse 26 to 28, Proverbs 19 verse 18, Proverbs 20 verse 11, Proverbs 23 verse 13, Proverbs 13 verse 24, Testimonies for the Church volume 5 page 319 to 320, Proverbs 29 verse 22, Proverbs 25 verse 28, Proverbs 16 verse 32. These are some of the verses you can read. So, the reason why we are having problematic Armor 2K, Armor 2K, you are waiting nothing but for the great judgment of God. It is because the society has failed us, the church has failed us, our parents have failed us. They tried giving us a life of ease, while they were destroying our lives. May God help us. May God strengthen us. May God help our parents to realize their mistake. May God give us strength. Amen. Also, I've not given my judgment, just like in history. To a greater extent, yes, parents, yes, society, and yes, the church contributed to the making of the Armor 2K. But there's hope. Where is the hope? Patriarchs and prophets, if we were to cherish and up your impression that God sees and hears everything we do or say, then we would fear to sin. Let the young ever remember that wherever they are, they're in the presence of God. Human laws, though sometimes severe, they can be transgressed with impunity, but not so with the law of God. He may think of himself alone, but to every unseen deed, there's an unseen witness. The cheapest midnight is no cover for the cute one. So what is the remedy? The remedy is found in the Bible. Revelation chapter 14. Ityai Mwari mumurumbidze nokuti nguva yake yokutonga yasvika. Namatai iye wakasika denga nenyika. Chii chinonzi kutya Mwari? Kutya Mwari kuchengeta mirayiro yaMwari inosanganidzira usaba, usauraya, usaita upombwe, usapupura kwako nhema, chengetedza zuva reSabata uriite dzvene, obey your father and your mother. Those are some of the things we need in society. By putting God back on his position in society, we can have a better generation. So it is my prayer that we can change the wrong to the right. If we have made mistakes, yes, we have made mistakes, but let us regard those mistakes as beacons of light and use those mistakes for us to be changed people, so that we can give praise and honor to God. I cannot force you to obey God. I cannot force you to beat your children. I cannot force you to discipline your children. But your conscience will force you. For the conscience is the Holy Spirit of God talking to you until you listen. So dear you, may God help you. May God help us. For us to realize our mistakes. And for us to take necessary measurements to be redeemed again. To preserve dignity again. To restore masculinity and crush down feminine. May God help us. May God help you. May God help Zimbabwe. Thank you.
Judgement.